I would imagine, Derek Keating, you kind of pulled this all together in many respects. Where did the idea come from?
Well, I've been involved in suicide prevention with Pieta House as a director for a number of years.
Yeah.
And having been first elected to the Dáil last February, I thought it would be a good idea to bring members of the Oireachtas together from all parties, from the Seanad and from the Dáil, to sing in harmony in support of a wonderful cause.
Did you get the harmony you were hoping for?
Well, you know, I think it's a work in progress.
No, I mean, do you know what? It's good sport, and it's metaphorical harmony, I think it'd be fair to say. but nonetheless, the cause you mentioned, Pieta House, I do want to talk about it for a second, because we have mentioned it on this programme, much more serious evenings. It is really time well spent, what you're doing. So just remind people what that is, if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, we come together to demonstrate heart really more than talent.
Yeah,
so there's a message there. And you know, it occurred to me, Ryan, listening to you know, while we were singing tonight, that the tragedy is that there are people who are watching this programme tonight who will at some stage or other contemplate suicide in their lives. And what we want to do is to send out a message that there is an alternative way, there is a better way. Good. And that better way is Pieta House. Because, you know, I was even talking to one of your researchers earlier, and they were reminding me that the toy show is coming up, a very happy event for children and most especially for families. And tragically, there are thousands of families in Ireland today who won't have the celebration at Christmas that we will have because of the loss of a loved one through suicide. And
Michael Ring, I know the West is having in many ways a great revival politically at the moment, but equally touched by a lot of tragedy in that part of the world. Gorgeous part.
There's no doubt about it, Ryan. It's affected a lot of families, and you know, families are just crying out for help. And
they are.
You know, there's more people die from suicide now than road accidents, and you know, I don't believe we're actually doing enough about it, and I don't think we have enough support there for the families. A lot of families suffered, and we've had a lot of tragedies in my county and in the west of Ireland in particular, and very sad, and it's hard to know what to say to families, and families themselves find it very hard to react. And I think this was a great cause, and I just like, you know, that I'd hope that the government and, you know, maybe RTE and people like that, we can talk about it more. Sometimes we're actually afraid to talk about it, and families need to talk about it. When you talk to families, in our role, I know people, you know, we go to family funerals that we know, and people that we know, and you can just see it in their eyes when you go in. And you may not know it actually happened, but when you actually go into the funeral, you'll just know, because they're just crying out for help. So
by doing this, you raised the relevant awareness as we're doing tonight. On a much lighter note then, the experience, Finian McGrath, for you has been wonderful, has it been difficult, has it been
well, tonight,
a joy?
Tonight has been very difficult, but at the last 2 or 3 weeks it was absolutely fantastic.
Don't you have a single under your belt? Haven't you recorded before?
I did the charity Euros there a couple of years ago, and we raised, at the time we raised, I think it was 87,000 for Down syndrome Ireland.
Yeah, good work.
I have a good friend of mine in the audience tonight, Sheila Maguire there. She's in the front row.
Give us a wave, Sheila.
Sheila's a big supporter.
Yeah, great.
And the overall, when Derek approached all of us, cross-party in the Dáil, there was a fantastic response. Everybody just said yes immediately. And
is that how it worked? Did you just go into the Dáil canteen and say, anyone got half a voice, in you come? I mean, was it that everyone dropped their forks and knives?
We approach people on an individual basis, but I really do want to say thanks, because the response was fantastic, not only from the deputies and the ministers, but also from our 2 choirs, from our sponsor, Noel Recruitment, from I have a team of directors, Jim Sheridan, of course, you know, musical director.
Here.
And
I think he made some of you sound wonderful to me.
Yeah, we had a wonderful team.
Which was an achievement itself. I mean, bar bringing down the government, that's pretty much as good as it's going to get.
Well.
And you also got the lovely choirs behind you.
We do want to ask the people of Ireland to help to make this song #1 this Christmas. And that's the message, because we'll be sending out a very clear message to the people who are at risk of suicide, and the many families that have been bereaved by suicide, that we do care, and that help is there through Pieta House.
You're good sports to do it, and thanks for coming on tonight. We do appreciate it. And good luck with the
Thank you very much.
We rock this choir, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. And just to remind you that the single Bridge Over Troubled Water is available to download from today. Full details can be found on the website pieta.ie, and I couldn't think of a better cause, particularly at this time of year.